Imagine a child is born but without bones. The doctors are hopeless. His family doesn't even believe he will survive. But this child grows up and becomes a terrifying legend. His name, Ivar the Boneless. One of the most cruel, smartest, and most mysterious leaders in Viking history. So who was this boneless warrior really? A myth born from fear or a real hell machine? In this video, we will present to you 10 terrible and incredible facts about him. Here is where history and legend intersect. Here it's not just swords that speak. Myths breathe and fear transforms into legend. Here, the impossible life of a child becomes a lesson in resilience for even the greatest conquerors. Here, a body born without bones carries an unbreakable will. Ivar, neither fully man nor merely myth. His name has echoed through history, whispered in fear. Stay with us until the end of this video and witness for yourself where the story of this extraordinary leader will take you. History doesn't just explain the past. Sometimes it lives in stories born from darkness that reach deep into our souls. If you're ready, let's unlock the gates of the past together. Fact 1. The boneless child. The beginning of the legend, Ivar's birth, is already a legend. His mother Aslaug, a powerful witch, was a seer. According to legend, she said, "If Ragnar and I stay apart for 3 nights, the child will be born healthy. If this condition is not met, a curse will come." Ragnar did not obey this. Ivar was born, but boneless. His arms and legs could bend. He could not walk. His body was like jelly. He was so fragile that some sources say he was carried in a cart to walk. Even his own brothers thought this child could not be a warrior. But history wrote a different story. Fact 2. The Viking who fought with intelligence. Ivar didn't fight with a sword, but with his mind. He analyzed his enemies, found their weak points, and struck whenever an opportunity arose. During his attacks in England, he cut off the city's water supplies and forced people to surrender from hunger. Ivar's plans were both terrifying and carefully thought out chess moves. For example, before attacking a city, he would learn about the mood of the people through spies and identify weak points. Ivar was not just a warrior, he was a strategist. He used violence and cunning to frighten his enemies and create psychological pressure. Fact 3. Leader of the great heathen army. In 865, the largest Viking army in Scandinavian history set out, the Great Heathen Army. This army was not an ordinary band of raiders. It was a well-armed, strategically managed war machine. Ivar and his brothers attacked England with the Great Viking Army. Ubba, Halfdan, and others tore England apart. Ivar conquered several cities in northern England and made the city of York his political center. He established a government there, minted coins, and ruled the population. As a result of these attacks, many English kings were either killed or forced to kneel. Their raids brought one of the bloodiest and most destructive periods in England's history. Fact 4. Revenge for his father, the bloody end of Ragnar Lothbrok. His father, the famous Ragnar Lodbrok, was a true Viking legend, but after he attacked England, he was captured by King Ella of Northumbria. They threw him into a pit full of snakes, a legend that ended in poison and death. When this news reached Ivar and his brothers, everything inside them changed. But Ivar, he was different. He stayed calm. He bowed his head in deep silence. No tears, only anger came. From that moment on, Ivar became not just a Viking leader, but a killing machine living for his father's revenge. Ivar did not just fight his enemies. He crushed them. He terrified them. He taught them a lesson. He made a great plan for revenge. According to legend, after capturing King Ella, he punished him with a terrible method called the Blood Eagle. The victim's ribs were spread apart from his back, and his lungs were pulled out, alive. If this is true, Ivar was not just a warrior, but a symbol of fear. This was not just death. It was a vow of revenge written on his father's soul. Fact 5. The king without a throne. Ivar never called himself king. He did not need formal titles. Actually, if you think about it, there were rulers in history who never called themselves king. Like Alexander, like Ivar. Those words never came from their mouths, because they knew true rulers are not made king by words, but by history. There was no need to say I am king, because history itself declared them kings. Ivar gave orders like a king, but he had no crown. People obeyed him because he knew how to rule. Ivar's power came from his name, not from his title. Fact 6. Boneless. Not a weakness, but a strength. People called him boneless. Some saw this name as a sign of weakness. But in reality, it was his greatest strength. His body's flaw was not a limitation, but the key to greater power. He knew that if you don't have wings on the battlefield, you have to fly with your mind. According to some historians, the name boneless referred to a medical condition, osteogenesis imperfecta. This disease causes bones to be very fragile, but some historians believe the name was metaphorical, meaning Ivar was so agile and flexible that they called him boneless. Others say the name was chosen as psychological warfare against his enemies. After all, if a person is boneless, is he even human? Or is he a monster? Fact 7. The pagan who defied God. Ivar was not just a warrior, he was a pagan who defied God. That era, the Viking era, was a time when religion was as sharp as a sword. In the lands of England, Christianity ruled, a society filled with monks, churches, and holy books worshiping God. But to Ivar, these were symbols of weakness. He knew Odin, Thor, and Valhalla. For him, God was not in the heavens, but on the battlefield. They burned churches and trampled on holy books. He did not recognize the rule of the heavens. He was a pagan who lived by his own laws and was loyal to his own God. Some called him a heretic, others called him a legend who dared to challenge God. Fact 8. Fearsome even after death, Ivar died. But how and where he died remains a matter of debate. Some say he died from illness. Others claim that the gods called him back. The most intriguing part is this. The English army tried to open his grave, but fear stopped them. According to legend, whoever touched this tomb would be cursed with misfortune. Ivar's terror continued even after his body had decayed. Fact 9. The place where history and legend intersect here. Truth and mysticism intertwine. Although historical records provide information about him, the legends and sagas surrounding Ivar make it difficult to see him as an ordinary man. Ivar exists both in history books and in myths. Through the Vikings' oral traditions, stories, and heroic sagas, Ivar is presented not only as a real warrior, but also as a mystical being connected with the gods. He is depicted as both spiritual and brutal, intelligent and animalistic, a living symbol caught between history and mythology. This shows that sometimes history is not just made up of facts. It is a collection of tales born in people's hearts and glorified over time. No one knows exactly where truth ends and myth begins. But one thing is certain. This story is far from ordinary enough to be forgotten. Fact 10. An eternal legacy from games to TV series. History spoke his name. Legends could never forget him. And today, video games, series, films, all continue to immortalize the name Ivar the Boneless as a legend. In the hit series Vikings, Ivar is portrayed as a charismatic, fearsome, and intelligent leader. Despite his physical limitations, his spirit radiates power. He didn't just terrify his enemies, he mesmerized audiences too. From novels to documentaries, from books to pop culture references, his legacy lives on. Ivar is no longer just a man, he has become a cultural icon. He may have been born without bones, but his name was forged into history like iron. Ivar the Boneless, a figure born out of myth, sustained by courage and remembered in glory. If you're someone who loves powerful, deep, and thrilling stories from history, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell. Here, we don't just retell the past, we breathe new life into it. In every episode, we unlock the doors to forgotten heroes, untold secrets, and fates carved by time itself. For us, history isn't just a subject, it's a living, breathing world. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What story should we explore next? Which historical figure, mystery, or legend do you want us to uncover? Your curiosity is our greatest inspiration. This journey through history is only beginning, and believe us, the most epic discoveries are still ahead. So come, Join us on this incredible adventure through time. Let's light up the darkest corners of the past and better understand the world we live in today. Without you, this journey is incomplete. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's travel through history together.